What's up, everybody? You're here with the Fly Guy. Okay, so I've been a little MIA lately, and it's because I kind of had an accident, and I unexpectedly had to have surgery. It wasn't life-threatening, but it could have been a lot worse than what it was, and I'm just really thankful that it worked out in my favor, at least so far. I was mowing my lawn, and what ended up happening was I was mowing on a small hill, and my feet kind of came out from under me. I slipped. It happened so fast. It was almost like my feet were on ice. And because I was on a hill, I fell down towards the mower a little bit, and my left foot partially went under the mower deck. So the blade caught my foot. Luckily, I had a pair of shoes on that had thick rubber, and it protected my foot from being completely damaged or, having several of my toes cut off. My big toe did sustain some pretty serious damage, though. The blade did cut into the base of the bone. It did completely sever the bone, but it didn't go all the way through the toe. So I am going to show some pictures of that injury right now. So if you do not like medical stuff, you get a little queasy with blood, this would be a good time to fast forward past this part towards the rest of the update. Okay, so like I said before, the blade actually went into the base of the bone of the big toe, and I'm going to go ahead and put a picture up right now of that injury. This was at the ER, so this was after the shoe was cut off. Actually didn't start bleeding until several hours after the injury because it happened so quickly. The blood vessels just kind of closed themselves off, and it just didn't really bleed. When they cut my sock off in the ambulance, there was only a nickel-sized spot of blood on my sock, and that was it. And when I looked in the wound, obviously I saw the bone, and it was pretty gross. But as you can see, it's a pretty deep wound. It's pretty messed up, and my toe is actually laying over onto my second toe there. And what they did was they cleaned it in the ER, and I had to wait a day before I could go into surgery, which that really kind of sucked, to say the least. So when I did go into surgery, what they did is they obviously cleaned up the wound. They made sure that it was completely sterile, and then they put in 3 pins. Now I'm going to put a picture up of that right now, and you can see right at the top of the toe, these are external pins. They stick out. They're not all internal in my foot, so I have to be really careful when I'm, scooting around or on crutches. So one is at the top of the center of the toe, going straight down the middle. There's one on the left and one on the right, and that is holding that bone in place so that it can heal and fuse properly. And so far it's looking good. I'm really thankful. The doctors and the surgeons, the nurses, everybody there at Altman Hospital, they just did a great job making sure that I had what I needed, and they took great care of me while I was there. It was just a great experience, so given the circumstances. So that has kept me from obviously fishing, and it's kept me from my normal routine. So I just want to apologize that I've been kind of MIA lately, but that's kind of the reason why I've been having my foot elevated. It's been hard for me to be up at the tying bench. I only have a desktop computer right now, so it's even hard for me to sit at a desktop computer with my foot elevated. It's difficult, just with the angle and everything. I'm just kind of tweaking my back, trying to, turn and have my leg, lifted. So it's been a little bit of a struggle, kind of learning how to adjust to some of this while I heal, but it's coming together. So I'm just thankful to have the support system that I've had. I've got a great family, great friends, and I really appreciate you guys being patient with me. I know it's been a minute since I posted a video, but I am going to be posting more videos here. I'm going to be doing some fly tying related videos and some gear review videos specifically. I've been working on a couple new patterns. One of them is the depth charge. I did post the recipe for this pattern on my blog and on Reddit. So if you don't follow me on those two things, if you haven't subscribed to my blog, I'll put a link to that in the description of this video, so you can check that out. On my blog, I do post fly tying recipes along with my fly tying demo videos, and any related fishing footage that goes along with that fly pattern. So if you haven't already, subscribe to my blog so you can get that recipe. And if you haven't followed me on any other social media outlets, I'll also put links below in the description so you can check me out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and Reddit. Anyway, getting back to the depth charge, it's an articulated woolly bugger-like pattern. It kind of has a resemblance to my waggle bugger pattern, but it just has a little bit more bulk. It'll push a little bit more water, and it's kind of designed for bass specifically, but you could throw it for larger trout. I've also been tying some classic trout streamers, and I've started tying some woolly buggers. One of my favorite patterns is a dub bugger. I don't use chenille for the bodies most of the time. I actually use a dubbing loop and do a dubbed body. So I've been doing some mini dub buggers, and I started doing brown. So I did a batch of those, and I've been tying these for an upcoming show that I'm going to be attending, and I'm also filling orders and getting some of my trout boxes stocked up, because once my foot heals up, I'm going to hit the ground running, and I'm hoping to get into some trout here during the fall and winter and into next spring as well, along with steelhead. So really looking forward to that, but I've got a lot of tying to do, and I'm starting here with the classic pattern that everybody usually learns how to tie, or it's one of the first patterns that they fish with. It's the woolly bugger. I don't have the recipe up for this yet, but I will have it up on my blog soon, so make sure you subscribe to my blog. And I do have this available under my custom patterns at tfgflies.com. So any patterns that I post on my website or on Instagram, most of the time I have those available under my custom pattern section on my website. So I will put a link to that in the description below. So if you don't tie yourself, that's okay. I love tying flies, and I love tying flies for other fishermen and guides, stores, whatever. I like getting people into fish on patterns that I've made for them. So check those out at tfgflies.com. So far right now, I've got a section dedicated to bass, trout, carp, and pike. It is always growing. And if you follow me on other social media outlets, you'll know when I post new patterns to my website, and if you need to grab some really quick for a trip, I can also help you out with that. Okay, so along with the fly tying videos, I'm also going to be doing some gear review videos as well. What I'm going to start with are 2 fly rods that I think could help both beginning and experienced fly anglers. They're 2 different fly rods, but they just work really well. They're budget rods, and they're not only going to save you money, but they're going to enable you to kind of dive into the fiberglass world, while at the same time getting an inexpensive graphite model that'll help you throw larger flies and fish for, bigger bass, carp, and even northern pike. The first rod that I'm going to review is an Eagle Claw fiberglass rod, and the second rod that I'm going to review is the Shakespeare Cedar Canyon fly rod. Both of these fly rods I've fished for over a year. They're really good fly rods for the money, and you can even add stuff to them if you want, and kind of make them a little bit more durable than what they are coming from the factory. And I'll go through all that when I do the review. But they'll save you some money, they'll get you into fish, they'll serve the same purpose as what an $800 rod would be, and might even give you an opportunity to dive into the fiberglass world if you've been thinking about getting a fiberglass rod and chasing trout or bass or even carp. You can do it with this Eagle Claw rod, and you're not going to break the bank at all. So looking forward to doing those reviews, so stay tuned for those. Okay, so I just wanted to thank all my new and existing subscribers. I just want to thank you for your patience with me during this time. I really appreciate all the support. I love reading everybody's comments on my videos, and I love interacting with everybody. So thank you again for everything. You guys are awesome. You guys are the reason that I do this, and I appreciate your patience because I do want to post videos, and I'm going to be. So stick with me here. Hang in there, because I'm going to heal from this surgery, and I'm going to come back and hit the ground running. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, go ahead and subscribe below, and make sure you hit that bell so you know when new videos come out. I will put links in the description to the 2 fly rods that I'm going to be reviewing here soon. That way you can kind of get a sneak peek of those before I review them. And I will also put links in the description to my social media accounts, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and Reddit. And that'll give you an opportunity to maybe see some of my fly patterns and get some of those recipes so you can get tying before I actually post tying demos here on YouTube. Alright, well that's it for now, guys. Thanks again for everything. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll catch you next time.